Resume in our close-by-close inspection of Public Service Bill 2025. Go along or clause 75, training policy. So here you say public service orders now must prescribe him a training policy. At the moment there is one? There is a policy?
Yes.
What is it? What na policy say?
So, currently this training policy in Bulgaria, we have evolution, currently an evolution stage in terms of the policy. So, currently, we follow now what the CITESA process him taken, whereby public officers ought to apply through the CITESA portal, and then what game come from ministry, and then we look at it, and then there is no training board him decide him look at the public officer go on training. So
that doesn't sound to me like a policy. That sounds to me like a very ad hoc kind of an arbitrary way. Leave him go apply lo CITESA, then I am invoke him decision making. But surely there must be a policy that's more. We had a discussion on this yesterday.
yeah.
CITESA is not the authority to determine needs and the timing of developing, or responding to those needs in the public service. They can't. They don't have the competence to be able to do that.
Chair, I think just further to what we discussed yesterday, before public officers to apply through public service, then the decision for choosing who to go to take an opportunity by him based on the law, decision law board there. The board is chaired by the PS.
But you're talking about the future. That's what you're proposing in the bill.
No.
Current practice now?
Before the current practice, since the enactment of CITESA, ini follow na what na CITESA hemi process lo CITESA.
Also, there was see. Let's just delineate between the two things. What you've described, or you're attempting to describe to me here, it's a process here. Process of how do you get training at outside institutions, perhaps, to public officers. So before, what you're saying is what apply come ministry, then ministry determine him who, then him give him go NTU before. Yeah. Now because CITESA or seleva go there,
Yeah.
and you are merely reacting to what CITESA gives you. But that one is not a policy. Neither of those two practices a policy. That's just process normal for get them out there go. But what's the background policy that guides?
The president chair him inside there.
Huh?
The president Mr. Nadi.
Yeah, actually, as DSM alluded to, we follow one policy in place here. So when CITESA Act come into being here, that policy we follow now, because due to the Act below CITESA, I'm telling every training, but go through that now. But prior to that one, there's a policy in place where how for the process, like how now for you go about giving training to public officers. So
okay, so the question of how is to one side. That's a question of process here. So CITESA come, you will sidetracked by CITESA. But that's even CITESA, I'm just a process mechanism for get them or the workforce go train no more. But what's the policy that actually guides the training? What are you trying to achieve? What are you aiming for in your training policy? Additional to IPAM, which must include IPAM, yeah? Additional to that, what? No. training policy I'm set out for doing.
Introduction part will be looking.
Then, based on that, now if I say, okay, so also, I'm just thinking, you know, what's the total workforce, the public service, minus teachers, minus police?
7,000 plus
7,000.
work at post system.
And then police,
Police service running up to 3, I think.
3,000.
Yeah.
But police ook run him training blood, say level 2, or come low eval 2?
Him come through public service
Come to
too.
public
But the
service.
long-term training him come with him in terms of
So them one, but
So
especially
say roughly 7,000 plus 3, 10, nah, then how many teachers? Teacher, not 10,000 too, yeah?
this is going up to 11 now. What's the latest?
11,000, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, teachers, training blood, education na run him. I'm not come level now. Okay, so, okay, me leave him aside for some, but for purposes, argument purposes, you have 10,000 people that by look law or some come under care blue. And if I was in charge of an organization that has 10,000 people, I would be thinking a certain level of allocation must go to training, ongoing professional development, plus long-term training. And then, of course, beyond that, must be borne by the need. So need lot functions and jobs and need for upskilling the workforce. You employ money, good man, but I need a certain level of skill. So that if that information wasn't available, or if you don't have the policy that guides you to find that information and then base your training planning on that information, that's the dog I was referring to yesterday. That should be the policy. The tail of the dog is then how do you then apply, how many scholarships, and meet him need here or no more. But that first bit now is the dog. You really follow application process and site no more tail here. You know, live him tail here, now wag him dog here.
Thank you, Chair. I think for answering that question, yes, public service and current policy, training policy, when developed 2011, 12%. And that policy now we follow in terms of public service training. So during that time, there is a board there in terms of the training.
But what's the policy?
So, wait a minute, it's policy here.
I see. But you know by heart lo no mind?
Staka something for reading too. So, as I said, we have a unit, specified unit when deal with them now. The training policy law. So, in that policy, I'm talking about types of training, funding for training, the obligation, the boarding agreement, the academic record, deferment of studies, academic suspension, extension of study, change of programs, submission of reports, condition service, training allowances, retentions of quota, maternity, monitoring, evaluation, completion of training, health while on training, salary increment, promotion, review panel, and medicines, and glossary. So those are what contain inside this one.
That one is, to me, not policy. I mean, it's secondary, supporting mechanisms now with something. Eh? When you send someone for training, have not something where I'm up like entitlements, how you look after them, and so forth. It's the mechanics of it. But what I'm looking for is something that will be in support of Clause 73 and 74. It's based on needs in the civil service. And out of that need, now you say, okay, and therefore we need training here and there, so many people must go there this year, that year, and so forth. What guides you to do that? That's policy. The rest of it is mechanics to support that objective. So it seems to me you don't have that. If you don't have that, that's the why the tail is wagging the dog. Dog is sexy, but dog na move, tail na, I'm heavy, he here. And dog move, you think say dog do them anything but aware. Tail no sexy, because you're calling the policy when it's really not policy. It's just you're looking after the mechanics of how it should happen. So anyway, we won't fix it today, but clearly there is no policy. Come up with a policy. This is going to be a very central document, and all public servants must know it, especially middle and senior management, because Ogatna must help for crafting that policy. Health sector, national security, policing, infrastructure.
Thank you, Chair. We'll take note of those very useful observation. We'll go back again and look at what we have now, the current one we have, and then we'll look at where now we also improve, because actually 2011-12 is outdated too in terms of that one. So once ITESA come, I think the Ministry will forget Timoga too, so...
We welcome Chairman Blomivalemi, reporting to duty, so by me hand over. But let me come to this. Oh, sorry. Don't get rid of what you have, the policy you have pre-CITESA. Go back to it. It sounds relevant still. Just update him no more. And get out of CITESA. Don't let CITESA tie you down. CITESA really, if you want to keep funding with them, by all means keep funding with them. But they are incompetent to determine needs of training of public service. Or for facilitating scholarship for Golot universities, no more. They don't have any competence beyond that function. So really limited function, no more there. But developing this more substantive policy must be UFAL in, of course, collaboration with all other ministries. And determining, therefore, how do you phase that training into place. That's the more, to me, the more foundational document. And you may need, some assistance. Maybe get a technical assistant to really help you work through that, because by including every ministry, say, key sectors, especially, must be involved, including, maybe even including education teachers. Just do one document, and then they can, Teaching Service Commission or Ministry can take their bit and look at how they do it. We've been, education, and with health also, we've been asking them questions. I've been asking them here, usually in Committee of Supply, during budget time, what data we have on demand and supply of teachers, for example. Do we have enough teachers? How many more do we need each year? And therefore, is the supply adequate to meet the changing needs? And in what areas? To know that, of course, you have to have a more base document that guides. Say, for example, education, if the focus was STEM, it's not at the moment. But if the focus was STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, from Kindi go up now, Kokasim Sinu, then training must cater to that focus here. And scholarships must cater to induce, incentivize a gradual shift of training to that, and teachers into that, and so forth. So the whole ecosystem, transition to it. So that's just an example, but different sectors will have different needs on which you then determine direction or training. So I think work on it. Like we have the confidence that you are responding to the needs.
Thank you, Chair, for that very important comments and suggestions. We'll look at it and then we improve on what we have now.
Yeah. Just on the CITESA bit here, how are we going to know you out from CITESA? You don't bow down on them.
Chair, in terms of CITESA, we've been talking with them in terms of the training bit for public servants here, and they agreed now for the training policy here for the training of public servants and come back from Ifala.
Okay, good.
So we only have a Bamfala current process from Ifala. Timeline Bamfala outing media for public servants of apply through their ministry. So the process will have now, I think, and start will build this time too.
Okay, very good. Yeah, you all must know. No, let them CITESA doing this important function. Go 7697.
76. Thank you, leader. Let me at this juncture sincerely acknowledge him good work by you. You sit down, law chair. Come Kasim this time. I'm back and I'm very happy to again join you and continue with him. This fella, good work. Thank you, PS. So we're moving to clause 76.
Yep.
You have anything there, leader?
Yeah, we just discussed the policy. Me think it was perhaps longer 76 here. ABC here, to ABC. Or perhaps even three subclause 3 in performing its function, the board must comply with the public service orders. You must also similarly reference in policy 75.1 here. See him not this one, you will read him come by. That one for guide him, you will know. The policy is what we were discussing before. Yeah?
Noted, Chair. Thank you.
This one, me worry, but no, we will go no do man. Policy one.
We recorded all our, like, things we discussed so far for recording.
Hey, me no looking, me no right no moment. We not recording here.
I'm not young to do
Oh yeah? You left-handed there? Oh. All him left. Hey, money right?
So we have two people doing that, Ian and the HR manager.
Oh, very good, very good.
So we're missing, but so once we finish then we'll come together and then look at those things we discussing and then we'll call him legal draft and team blame. We will send him policy instructions for doing so. That's the way we will discuss.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Chairman, about money because Jesus lot blocked it. We will work good to us these last few days.
Yeah.
So, me was the story no, and me will know. Kind blue before he hear a lot of money no more.
Thank you, leader. That's very good to hear. It's an important piece of legislation that you will like him shine in terms of the capture and him cover him interest blame twala. So yes, take note look at something and make him that need him address. So any other sub clauses there that you will like for Luklahema?
Composition of board there. So how did you arrive at these members here? Composition law, I mean.
Thank you, Chair. I think the members of the board and representing what like these people are permanent secretaries within certain ministries. We will think that they should be part of the board. The PS Public Service, the Secretary to Cabinet as the head of the Public Service, Ministry of Finance, and Law Selena, Ministry of Law Education, like the CITES, I'm commander get and then in terms of the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Planning, him wider. I'm not responsible for planning the country, and in terms of manpower planning for the full nation, I think we ought to come up with the opportunity list usually available for citizens every year. So the public service is also part of that as well. And then the Ministry of Provincial Government, which is representative of workers within the provinces, could be part of it as well. So I don't know why those people are included in this list. To us, the list I think is sufficient. As I've increasing go more, I think by a lot of Wakamo kind of thing. So I think this is representative of the full public service. Thank you.
Yeah, other stakeholders were up here first time. I think you will list them, look for some, major parts of the machinery of government. So on what's where health, there was just in health. There's big workforce too there. But that's not your criteria. Your criteria was for easier coordination.
Correct.
But the other, and that's a valid criteria using, but the other area where me thinking lohem now is, we have to build up the technical capacities within the civil service. And, minds is very, very thin. Not many technical people, geologists, and any kind of different specializations here. Forestry, in finance, and so forth. And you're going to be this for a new classification categories, 6 categories. Of course, they will run across sectors, and therefore a number of ministries, but you may end up on this board, permanent secretaries would be the administrator, CEO administrators responsible for ministries, and may lack the technical appreciation. They don't need to be specialists, but appreciation for technical capacities. Because this whole area is underrepresented too much, or technical area. We run the risk that they will continue to be underrepresented. Should there be, the other way to tackle that problem is keep the composition as it is, but then somewhere in the policy where you devise him under law, clause 75, that hemi look law, the needs below technical cadres, yeah. So each time what look law, what must look. Because once you look at that policy, once you develop it, one of the big issues staring you in the face now, technical capacity of the government very thin. And therefore, how do you respond to it? So once you respond to him, and this must be informed by it, but it has to be forced, because we have neglected it for so long. You know what our approach has been for training of technical people? Depend on man interest. But that should not be how we should do it. I mean, of course, that must be part of it. We should be going to King George and Tenaroo and Selwyn and Goldie and Sue and St. John's and Bokona and all these schools, and identifying the cream of the crop in the sciences and the mathematics. We identify them from Home 3 or Semiet. We're investing in them, and we're incentivizing you going to science or geology or also by scholarship a little bit higher than man go studying history and Western time law, studying politics, kind of something also. Same scholarship, man politics and man for become geologist, same, no anything also. So all those things will feature once we have a much more targeted policy, and we force the training board to look into it. And so we incentivize it right across. Some of those people will come back, go back into schools. They must part law. Policy too. We want them to go back into schools to teach more scientists, more technical people. Time would go back, salary blocked by a little bit higher than man when teach him English no more. English is important too. Man teach him history or some geography, or geography important too, man, climate change. Yeah. But I mean, you get the drift of what I'm saying, because our focus is on STEM, focus and respond to the need for technical card, both in the public service and of course in the wider economy, but your policy focuses on the need for public service. So the policy is much broader, much more foundational. It's not just, how you apply also, you apply Lomival or you go to site. No, that's just the mechanics of how the individual will do it.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for those very useful insights as well. I think the way of addressing this one, by stop law policy, let the compensation board have stop us in, but as we are well aware of that, the fact is that in terms of the scholarship distribution for what technical ministries, as Mr. told Mr. Delba, I'm quite thin in terms of, like looking graph here, there's less officers going for training under the technical ministries. You'll find that the bulk of the people inside call out admin position like the MBA, kind of same management policy, same. So at our back of our minds, these are the issues we feel like looking into the future too, because if you look at the technical ministries, I'm quite thin in terms of the manpower you got there, and the qualification there in terms I'm a little bit thin too. So when developing the training policy, those are the issues where we will look at them. So maybe when we look at that for now, maybe we got let's say 100 scholarships for public servants for a year. Let's say around 60% or 50% I'm go for technical administration. The other 50 could be shared by other ministries. Those are the issues law. So once you time framing by time of same, you should get a number of people qualified with these qualifications, and then we review the policy again and we give chances to others as well. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, that's why Law 73, Clause 73, we had that discussion this morning, is really critical. It's proactive bit here. So you're identifying the need early. It's not in the public service yet. You need that training. Then you proactive now. You go outside the service. You go to the schools. You recruit. So then you work closely with Ministry of Education. And so we need, over the next 10 years, we need 100 people, law, different fields, law, geology, mining, processing, or with something here. Okay, how are we going to feed them in through the system? Go start coming to school now. Start early, then we work together. If we don't do that, we're just dealing with the product of the system. We're not influencing how that product is shaped mid-level or early, and even shape him through the system. Go time him come out, him serve him both public service and the industry, and you're the main driver, main catalyst. That's, to me, that would be a game changer, very transformative. Although you're focused on managing public service, but you're responding to a wider need. LD, how does Samoa do it? You have very good training.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
Look at her.
Tell us.
Very well trained.
Legal trust person.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. I'm sorry I'm not able to respond to a particular question. But if the discussion right now is about the membership of the board and technical people being involved in it, perhaps subclause 6 may assist, where the board may give other permanent secretaries some of even rights and functions in 76(2). So perhaps there can be a mix of other permanent secretaries of technical areas being invited into the board.
Yeah, that could be a useful thing. But it must, the default position of the training board must be attention to this thing. The way it's currently structured, my fear is it'll be business as usual. And so therefore I'm not responsible, especially technical media now, because no one apply to him. So we only deal with the people who apply. So it's a reactive, very passive approach. That's why that policy under Clause 73 is critical.
If I may sort of take us back to many years ago, in Minasawe, leader, me go through law secondary, King George, interviewed for his scholarship. I think that is part of the training focus for him to come, become the Crimea, and the school saved too. That ministry, but to come out with the workforce at the end of the year, even for those scholarships. I'm not something that him tola one dog system lo him no more. We actually pick because the policy for developing that workforce and with him and so it has to be featured, it has to be inside law strategy. Membership, pardon my ignorance, because another one me look him no more outside PS hemi to come him say number hemi should be enough law composition. Sinu where by one fella main and key institution for development law at technical people meeting should also be recognize a space in that board. We just put him out or some maybe policy rational way if all karim is for the ministry noma. Him tara no go out lo kata technical people institution blame to him. So I just flagged that meeting that I think now we also have Sinu there.
Are you suggesting they should be on the board?
I'm suggesting that, yes, leader, they should be considered on the board. I think we need that the background, the mandate for the develop because policy of training, yeah, by Okata now, Parliament, if they be part of the board in terms of looking at the policy and redirection if need be, that one now. At the back of the mind, me Karim. What's your take on that, PS?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for that intervention as well. Okay, to us, these because you may look after more the training of public service, focus more on public service and the board here. But I'm look at the need of the ministries flow side of training no more. So I think to us, the members of the board is quite sufficient in terms of giving directive in terms of how many scholarship names should give. Because you talk about how many people buy goal of certain scholarships, no? Because if the let's say for example the number of scholarships maybe 100. So this board never decide if the applicants come from ministries. These are the people no more decide them. So the process we look at it, but I must say. Like ministries will have their own ministerial HRD plan, and they will also have their ministerial training committee. Every ministry, based on need lo ministry blogata. So what they will do is they apply through this board. If they want to get a scholarship for next year for the Okaman, or apply come, this will board layer. So the board decides, look at the overall objective of the government policies of training for or the public servants, and we meet today and talk about not technical areas where you need to put more emphasis on them. So the board never decide, but as we stated, but this could be a policy that we look at the technical ministries, which is quite lacking in terms of the qualification we need them. So we support them. So once the board approve the list, then by giving the list go back training, example agriculture, or something on list of training, then the board approves and okay, you follow 6 follow about approve now. So tell them to apply to the CITESA portal. So they apply to the CITESA portal. Once it apply, at the end of the year, by CITESA, come back list. Oh, this is a total list with apply come here. And for us, we check them. Oh, we check him candidate number 1. Money this year, after him approve, him no suspend, him no terminate. Then it's okay, I'm clear. So if you check him list, I'm clear again. You say okay. Then from there, we follow them says yes. These are the people if you give come for approve. From there, they list with them. Okay, John, Minister of Agriculture, you've been accepted to do training, blah blah blah. Then they give you the offer of scholarship. Then you apply, and then after that, they come back to us. They sign a bond with the Ministry of Public Service, training bond. How many years you go by signing bond? You come back, you have the saving before you serve a goal other ministries or any other apart from the public service. Thank you, sir.
Not that you change him no more for. Potolo saya should not apply law public service. Potolo should be law you follow. So you have a training portal that ogate by apply law him. Then part law checklist below you is you get them endorsement from human resource and comply with the human resource development plan, training plan, something else. So it's all internal. List no more you give him all CITESA. They don't need to know all the other information. They just need to trust that you've done your diligence and meet him now. This all planning here, staff planning here. So that way, because you're responsible for that, not them. You depend on first time. They're not giving come on. It's just a very inefficient way of this tail wagging the dog to talk about the NIA. So that's why you have to take charge.
Okay, thank you, sir. We'll further less with CITESA on that issue. So to us, I think. By talking to CITESA, then we could also every team come back from inform decide to go on training and kind of and then
system mo work me portal system talem man hem develop me come development for you. One local boy, one development level, then all public servants apply Golohem. Once you have those checklists, then they will make sure they comply. Oh, me go look him HRM for endorsing this one. Then HRM, hey, no more, I'm not inside the plan. Then they make him, oh, it should be in the plan. You will overlook him. Oh, no problem. Add them inside. But they are no more. This one not important for the next 2 years. So sorry, we can't endorse you. Him cannot apply now. Him cannot go to site as a too. Well, he can, but he must resign as a public officer. Then he apply as open category no more. So the other issue here is about of course MP scholarships, your constituency scholarships. Some of our officers are going to bypass him whole process here and come under law constituency. So you must make sure no any officer by go through law MP more. You know, abuse him system because you're working through a plan, a policy and a plan. You know, picket then you think, you know, Agol Blue, I'm Prime Minister or I'm Deputy Prime Minister or I'm Minister for Fisheries or so you say, if you like for doing Muslim, no problem, you resign, you're not public officer anymore. Then you go to any other category. But public officer is only considered through public service portal, no any other more lower categories here. You make that very clear in the policy. And everyone comply. Once you not comply, you self-terminate. Something awesome.
Thank you, sir. Those comments, we will take note of them. Yes, actually, we will get experience in terms of those who want to go through the MP scholarship and then come Lomifala. So I think Lomifala, me tell them, if you like him, you resign, you go because you no stop the training policy. That's a clear cut we will give him because so far we will do Muslim. So this year, no one come through the scholarship MPs here. Yeah, so what one for like him too that cycle law this for scholarship like him must follow to timing law follow him must not follow the timing law the public scholarships here. Because to us we feel like by June we should everything should ready now. Then it must go to the proper budget process too. Remember, time when people go training, you mean for get supernumerary post here. So time for you apply for supernumerary na time lo budget process here, bidding process here. Like time Minister of Agriculture or Environment or Lands as comes from like 3 months for training. So during this process this time you apply kamlo manpower but me for like 3 months for supernumerary. So apply come then before just because you have to leave money that post them stop nothing, somebody must look after them to post there. So those positions might by stop the supernumerary. Then you got a budget for him. Because time man go school, I'm still take selenet ba. So selen blame na, I'm taking my supernumerary. So him for like the process must happen first time in June before him go towards the end of the year. By June, you should go back to school na. Ano sim for next year.
Very good. You do Muslim by run smooth to mas Yeah. That's why you must know follow citation na.
Because currently citation finished September, but the closing date for scholarship September 15. So by this time you know who it na bago training this time.
No, January 1 time you may decide.
Process ya bidding process ya babay mo finish sa budget lo gaman pass finish. So when we start ang hard for next year who na for go training kan type of sem and then suppose no garam budget focus supernumerary mo we are real problem
messy.
So that's the process when we like take him. Thank you, sir.
Very good. You must take him now. Chairman?
Yes.
More PS, nice money.
Yeah. Must still the all over.
Ubivo, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It all na, yeah.
That's why I'm nice money. I'm on DS everyone.
Okay. Can we move to the next clause? Clause 77. Sorry, legal trust person, you have
on board, Chairperson, just to make a note here, in clause 76, subclause 6, it's the editing.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm making a note here, please, for the record, that we will address that. Thank you. Sorry, to remove too many mays. Yeah.
You know, in Mivalowat Quacks, there's a word may, yeah? May na. So when I saw the repetition of May, I thought you were from Quacks. Not, huh?
Thank you, legal draftsperson. Okay, let's move to clause 77. 77, 78, if we may.
Hey, you know Resiso Sem? Easy normal something.
Yeah, okay, easy. Yeah, 77 then.
At the moment, the IPAM is set up under what? General Orders Number 2 or?
Public service. Public service.
PS?
No, Public Service Act, all one, yeah? Current one?
The current one.
Go ahead, Director.
Yeah, so it's set up under the law current act, yeah, Cap 92. Yeah. But one sentence no more. The minister I'm going powerful. Like I'm training.
Oh, so then by regulation, no, Minister Hemdes.
Yeah.
So when you offer them training, there will be core training where all public officers must do it. It's compulsory training. And then there will be units that are electives.
Yes.
So, okay, electives are all right, voluntary. But the core one, how do you compel all officers to make sure they undertake it? And if they don't, they're sanctioned, or, they don't get a promotion, or is that linked? How do you do that? How do you...
So currently, the training where I'm compelled now, KYPS number, because I'm going to become mandatory, waiting one for instruction from Public Service Commission that all officers, all new officers must go to induction.
Separate from
Yeah.
know your public service course here?
Knowing a public service course,
Induction part lo hem.
yeah.
How long na course here?
Course at the moment I'm 9 days, so 5 days and 4 days second week.
And what do you cover in it?
What the roles and function, below what the key ministries and agencies. So content,
Okay. Anything more on that one? I mean, that's important. Roles and functions important. So what competencies now outcome you expect them? So when a public officer have me finish him 9 days here, what competencies do you expect that they will have?
The objectives law trainings here, so if I come through what objectives law, and they should know about functions and roles, and one for action learning activity or project learn now is they should be able to develop a comprehensive induction program for the ministries. It's for me, it's KYPS, being an awareness and knowledge of what the roles and functions below the government. Most of it, some of it, they do that for their ministries too. For inducting, same induction sort of knowledge nowadays.
Yes, it sounds to me like it's inadequate as the base foundational knowledge package. It sounds to me that, again, you'd have to look at the syllabus to see the depth of what Director IPAM Talem, but just listening to what I'm describing here, maybe you need much more than that. In the common base knowledge where whether you low or you high, you must get them in the public service, yeah? Especially on entrance.
Thank you, Shay, for those comments as well. Actually, what the knowing your public service I'm doing, actually I'm teaching the basic roles and responsibility below government, what the functions below the government in terms of what the government, what the functions for certain offices, kind of thing, because there are certain people who come from investee, those things, learn investee. Maybe money got them technical background. Time we talk about government, we talk about science, or law, kind of thing, social science, or geography. So time come, those are the basic things where you learn them. But then we have fundamental course where I'm compulsory. Before you probation, you go on trial and finish, then you go for confirmation. Those documents must be attached with the documents you submit in the Public Service Commission. And by that, we're also looking at the ways, because sometimes maybe people would go out to provinces, and maybe difficult for them to come and take out courses. That's why sometimes taking more time for to confirm the position. So time team go around the provinces, time and also come for attending with courses. So one way for local say is to having those courses online, whereby let's say we put it online. Then you self-test, you self-doing, and eventually I'm generating a certificate for the money completing. Maybe within 1 year or 6 months, I'm stopped there. Making money and walk go evening go back to the house. I'm so go through go online and read more, then answer more questions. And by the time I should finish, within 6 months I should finish the course, and then I'm gonna certificate with look I'm finishing course and awesome. And we've been talking with partners for helping for doing that for arrangement, because how many can go like others will take time for confirmation. It's well fundamental course not taking, but which is quite difficult taking, because I'm not. Sometimes time this week money or do money go to or overseas or kind of same. I'm not attending kind of same, but time come kind of same. So we are looking at direction, and we're also working with other partners like the New Zealand Public Service Fund is with us at the moment. So that can talk about online training, but that portfolio the public service, New Zealand Public Service, help them for advancing. So they have been here for since last 2023, not come here. So we have signed MOU with them in terms of assisting us for development areas of training. So I take a point that those courses, I think if we need for add more meat in terms of
I'm just thinking, I'd wrongly assumed, but me thinking also, no, that basic course, all public officers on entry must know the Constitution. All public officers must know the Constitution. But a foundational law, you mean?
I think that one inside that for the course too.
And then next one, lo public finance. Now, how important too much for everyone. Got them the same. It's foundational knowledge. Is that also in it? So
time course like other agencies come inside too. Integrated institutions come inside for giving course local too. And part of the for course here.
Same 9 days. I'm short too much.
So one day, one for the teams after half a day. What got sessions inside?
Maybe it should be 9 weeks rather than 9 days. So meeting was in the basics should be Constitution, public finance management. This is called code of conduct here, code of ethics, not foundational something here. And then just the other mundane stuff to ensure when they enter equipped, armed, be able to see the big picture and see their part in the big picture. That's one important. And then when you get up to middle level, the level of detail by change more. Of course, time him enter him learn him Constitution. I don't fully understand him, but him understand the broad structure of it and flow of it. But time him go to middle management, and by you expect him one day by him might acting director or acting on important decision making post. Well, they need to understand a little bit more detail on governance, so therefore a little bit more detail of Constitution and much more detail of laws, blog at 11 or something. So we're taking a more proactive by design kind of program. So when they're making decisions, they understand. You know, the way tenders are being managed at the moment, part of our losses for Treasury is procurement system here is sometimes deliberately manipulated. Well, nobody should have the excuse of, I didn't know, me follow procedure, but where there is a silence in the law, they err on the side of crookery. Why we cut them out if we say this is a base knowledge and includes public finance management when you're making decisions law procurement, you've got no excuse because you know the procurement system, and if there is a silence, this is how you should determine it, as opposed to the other way. Those things come in the more senior they get. So nobody is with excuse. Everybody, no got an excuse left. They do their job, they know what the law says about their job.
Thank you, sir. I think you raised a very valid point in terms of the training law IPAM. So actually, the IPAM, actually we are moving towards like what the ideal situation is. That the IPAM should be a school for excellence for public servants. That's what we want. And we are now going to build a home for IPAM. Now looking at middle Nikis and Mifala, that's a home for public IPAM.
More bit space here?
Yeah.
We will put them tent there.
No, we're building it start next year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
new IPAM building.
IPAM building.
Good. How many story?
It's going to be a 4-story building. So our long-term plan is that it should be the Institute of Public Excellence for Public Servants. HEMNA should be the picture or the objective of the IPAM. And what we are looking at is that also looking at IPAM to have MDMOT courses were accredited to some institution where public servants let them go train lo there. And outcome and take him maybe the same course where she give him the same certificate to some give him, maybe UPNG, maybe other. So some institutions like within the Pacific, they are moving to those direction. So actually, we first got him out of Zoom meeting with him at other institution, the Pacific. Like for example, in PNG, that SILAG for PNG, or like all the certificates or take him there. Him agree to either the D1 Wood University or UPNG. And I think they're also moving out from go towards ANU too, yeah, where some courses over there have some accredited too. So basically, if you do more the fundamental human risk management, then you could take a diploma and could accredit to institutions who are involved by Garem relationship with them. So we are talking with at the moment with the site of skills, quality assurance, yeah, so those areas. But now that's our main focus. Once we have a home and everything settled there, we will try to build what in Garem there. So it's going to be such that the setup I'm said. I think training of public servants should not be a problem. So that setup, even when I'm Garem too, place for him like taking public servants from provinces, they would come and sleep there as well. Garem one.
Hey, by dormitory there no?
Sleep there and then also train and then.
Story.
Yeah.
I see. Director sleep there too, I think.
No, but for reducing cost, for example, let's suppose you take people come from provinces. Then expertise lo honera no man, because it's quite difficult for you take everyone honera go to province, which is quite difficult. For example, you like taking one LCC or Botswana or same, and no follow time or garang work plan and timing logo too. So you like pull money come and a little bit challenge. Yeah. So you taking people from province for come, you house them then you taking people for training about no more. And that's what's been done. Then they could go back and to their places. So that's what we're trying to do now. Yeah. So we have been talking with finance in terms of building. Before Garang so green light a little bit.
Oh, very good.
Big green light, no, I'm small, big green light.
Big one.
Yeah, the other aspect, for instance, in our efforts to stamp out corruption, the code of ethics, code of conduct here, it should be taught and the values with it. So we have all these values, the values taught, but flesh them out a little bit more in practical situation so that, you're the director of mines, for example, practical situation, someone come apply, and then you're faced with situation awesome. How do you navigate it? Values here, by him, point him, you all same here. So they're equipped when they're faced with that situation, they're not confused anymore. Hey, custom lo me, money, them come a little bit bike race, or say, me must kind lo him too, because I'm kind lo me. It's an excuse, we're a reciprocity culture. It's a terrible excuse, but logging has proven it's been used against us. So people in positions where I would make them decisions that will have commercial impact are equipped always to make the right decision. if they don't make the right decision, there is absolutely no excuse. They have been trained, they've been exposed, and, doing case studies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So thank you. So me tell them today, like knowing a public service is mandatory to a great extent. COC too is mandatory, but the importance of it now, have make more officers, law ministries, also make them by default COC become also mandatory too. So it becomes one of our core courses to law inductions. But exactly law training, have not what them happen. So we go through the principles and then role plays. So role play now so we have mifala garam cartoons, look at the cases of misconduct, conduct issues. So we role play them and they do activities for pointing out from the Constitution and from the COC. Look at aspects where you breach him now, this whole scenario. That's, so you apply back to that. So that's the kind of training I'm happening.
Oh, good, good. And I mean, the challenges we've had is, one talk system,
Yep.
tribe. We must address him no training,
Yep.
Talk blue or bro blue come osem, but I'm wrong now, osem. And you role play that and get it into the DNA of the public servant. I have been complaining about this blurring of the boundaries between the politician, political head, and the administration. Well, teach that. So as they come to the ranks, when they become permanent secretaries or directors, and the political minister gives a direction, they know exactly what to do. Put it on paper, give the advice that's legal, that's ethical, and that's good practice. It's the only 3 ways you can respond. You teach that. Once you meet Muslim, we clean up corruption in this country.
Yes, Chair. So in the activities, so the role plays for COC, we've got 7 false scenarios. So misuse of abuse of power, one talk system, corruption, political influence, and not things so. So they do role plays on those 7 main scenarios where have usually happened, because those role plays have come about because of a research. So looking, this one's now have always happened local country or public services, and so we address this through this COC. And at the moment, code of conduct is requested all over now, so ministries, because some ministries from the nature of the work, what cannot come out, so the request we go to them. So currently, this week, last week and this week, we have 190 nurses who are graduate out. So we just schedule 5 days training for them. So one group in the morning, one group in the afternoon also. So by the end of this week, they should go out with the COC certificates. So that's currently what happened, and we just like stressing the importance of him and the importance we have seen from the ministries as well. So they requested for it as one of the course that them often requested.
Man, posisi no director, be apum for him deputy secretary. This is going to be very critical.
See, I'm not finished.
Ay, mania, Jesus lo hat blame.
So the director is on SS2 as deputy secretaries.
All right.
And on contract as well.
Bro, man nothing here, man.
No man, nothing.
Oh, very good.
Thank you too much,
I was just going to say, maybe political appointees should come to man, course here.
Yes.
Yeah, desirable is if we have that kind of mandate to increase our scope, then we can go higher.
Some country overseas here, even ministers must go here.
Yeah.
Must train them. So they know the laws they're implementing, they know the constitution. Look here, you ask him a question here, minister, you look back or say, no, wait once ago, once PS no stop more, or you mean no good now? But ministers should be on their toe, they know their stuff. So training should go minister too, but minister by.
Chair, so we look at if we have that kind of setup advisory body, it can give us that kind of leverage.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have a point system where each year public officer is required to must attain 12 credit points of training. I think awesome. So it's in their interest to keep training online or whatever, but must accredited with him IPAM. Then everyone's training every year. Everyone should be training. Once I'm online, anybody could do it.
Absolutely, leader. And Emi lulukosem okata prerequisites because kakame mane po promote go but I only basically first one and no him take him. Then go director, but no ma. So I'm encouraged by the online courses, yeah. And then
In 12 sign up to you.
oh, certainly, yeah. So make him time. If you custom director, you promote all this one, you follow must take him box now. Mane hem sabe lo go through okay finish online or low class or some because some fala ya minim go no maya and me encourage because lo pass ya meeting back lo time lo me Miko kasim TS now, but mi no ko train mo ya. So mi te train no mo read no mo fosa sabe lo something ya. Yeah, and it's good that you follow pick him up. And I think what leader was talking to, if me pick him correctly, nice. Man ko up osem, hemi sa sabe lo setting something osem. Man no stop lo director if no sabe lo something ya. Imi mas equip me osem. And the other appointment him come now, like okata PS, yeah, technically or some, but then okata come from outside, there's some for okata. I mean, was more him politically, yeah, and so by okata sabe lakim now, those fundamentals of being a public servant, and for also advice. So then, good na ifala.
Very critical. I mean, we see, Chairman, we see a lot of PhDs come here. So the PhD could have a doctorate, PhD in their field, have absolutely no idea how the public service works, no idea what the Constitution says,
Absolutely.
no idea on some of the laws, core mandate is about. So no matter you PS, you must go to IPAM, doing course here. As long as you are first entering, you're entering for the first time of public service, regardless of how senior where you are entering, you must go to common body of knowledge course here. This one barawa. Yeah, man.
Yeah, for him to the politician, I think of the interaction lo here lo parliament somehow. Because if me come inside law house ya, me was have awesome sabe everything na ya. Yeah, but no more.
No more big.
So somehow if we can it's sort of a link, yeah, okay, the training me follow first time me follow come in here, lo here and you follow there's some provision where you follow must come help me follow for also understand the more something me follow politician. Then I think by him para helping me lo system ya. Because political will lo dia, but if him will him no good, him tell problem ya.
Now, Chair, let me comment naman in terms of the training naman IPAM. So currently, we are working with other stakeholders in terms of providing training at a different level, as you mentioned, because low experience in the field. Like there's a gap in terms of at the very senior level. Middle level become a challenge because if that person up there I'm going to retire and finish, somebody to fill in the gap on top of there, I'm baratin too much now. So what we're trying to do is build a capacity low middle level, and so we are proposing courses that help them. So currently through the public service file, we are enrolling some people through other training at the middle level managers level, both for women and men. So immigrant training for everyone. So they assist us in terms of the training. So before identifying finish, because practically, if you look, several director finish or several ministry, imano yung efficiency mo, lohi baratin na. Capacity of the patient from wafa, a challenge here. So looking forward, we need to build this capacity. Once that person leaves, somebody will move up more for taking position. So it's a challenge currently across SIG in terms of building capacity below Wakamando level management. Because to us, not necessarily you go for further studies, you take all masters, you come back, then you survey everything there. No. The capacity should be done through a short-term training or maybe workplace attachment basis. You could get that knowledge and understanding, and then you help them, you time out directly move, and you stop there, you could step up, chance you step up now, and you take on the role. So you'll find that staka because the place a tin, so time man them go, then by pieces come, piece you let them staff on 2 years more for this one money come up before you let them go. So sometimes money sick man number 2, but just because the need for him staff there for help in terms of addressing issues there, he stayed for 2 years. But you'll find that as you look like him, productivity will become problem. Because to him, me 2 years naman, we go na. So those are the challenges we'll face in terms of building capacity. But yes, we know what is there in front of us, and we'll address it. Thank you.
Mi story with the one vala agol home all man now, and he's talking to me about IPAM course before him work along public service before colonial time, and all get the way they were trained. You know, pass. You know, okay. You know, IPAM certify you, then probation will finish you worker. And they teach them basic law, contract law, law of torts. Basically, it's a course, crash course in law, administrative law, and also, and then the specifics of what I would need for doing it. So me this thing, when we were dealing with Ogat magistrates, of course the magistracy used to be part law, executive government. You mean not just changing, put them go part law judiciary. When we were looking at their entitlements recently, no more a couple of years ago. But when they were part long executive, you remember we used to have first, second, even third class magistrates. Or the DO or district officers, administrative officers, yeah. But they were able to rise to be able to perform magistracy functions because of that basic training in law, so they can handle minor matters. Me thinking this one embargo good something for go back law. All public officers should know the basic law. Then, by marab aidim decision making for good. Me go ask him, go say principal law res judicata. Miss, man res judicata, man you man home you saw law res judicata. How do you solve the term? Then I explain him. Hey, true man, you know man nothing. You know, because middle management too, your public service. So I think it's something worth looking at. Yeah.
Chair, thank you. That one I'm raising important action from Valtecame, because at the moment we are looking like the PS already alluded to. We follow looking the technical areas of role-based trainings, yeah. I'm also missing too, law. I'm so like those things, yeah. Law technical sector. Before I look for building courses, trainings for that kind of law, forestry, law mines, or the role-based trainings where IPAM capable for hosting others, or himself hosting trainings for him, maybe accredited or attainment. So yes, it can be very important. A little bit missing law IPAM programs. Yeah.
So that raises the next question, governance below IPAM itself. Currently, Hemi housed within the ministry,
Right.
and Hemi also one for a division law ministry.
Right.
Going forward, is that the right way it should be? Should it be not outside the government, but not perhaps not as cozily in the ministry? Have you thought about that?
Thank you, sir. Actually, we are thinking about that one too. Yeah. So, what we are thinking is, we build first time now. We build it. We build it, and we look him that him baraba wakagut, and we think that if the need for him go stand alone somewhere, that could be done in the future. So, if we building the base plan first time, then we look at develop more curriculum so we should teach him in terms of for public servants. Then we look him that and perform to the standard we like him. Then the possibility of having him, maybe him stand alone somewhere now, in terms of the training for public servants. Then maybe him could carry him now, even on maybe a lecturer's problem too, in terms of teaching those courses law IPAM. So for now, that's one of the long-term goals. Now you talk about this, maybe in the future, once we build the capacity up to the standard meeting that them should be standalone, then we must have a go now. Yeah.
So now decision making regarding IPAM is done by who?
At the PS level, no.
Isn't director story?
And the proposal here, how, will that be one of the roles below training board, or training board him for training no way, nothing to do with IPAM? What now? Some of the challenges you meet him, Director Lo IPAM, Lo this area, Lo governance. What now by need to be responding to the many training demands?
Thank you, Chair, and for the comment. Yes, I'm challenging because of governance within there. So if the needs come from higher above hierarchy, before got a challenge for meeting because capacity one fella. What officers law IPAM too, order for provide him training law higher caliber, then people need to be capacitated.
So you all how many in the same?
At the moment, people are a lot of trainers. What we're doing training for follow, and then we have the support team.
And for in what fields?
So we have 3 units. So the leadership unit, ICT, and corporate. So corporate teach them about KYPS and COC and what corporate skills and knowledge. Yeah?
So in what levels? What level? You director, you deputy level na, but what naroon sa level what?
12, 13.
So low
and 10, 11, yeah.
So we need for. This is the whole thing with governance. If you're wanting to attract some good talent, training here, a big input is going to be those who are teaching. There's of course the resourcing and the rest of it, but those core teachers, you know, when you're doing a course in constitutional law, you can call the legal drafts lady. She could come and teach in the evenings, or attorney general, or even a high court judge, or even the chief justice. So people like that you can tap. But you have to have a core team that's driving it. People you tap can't make decisions. They just come and help and participate. But to do that, you must raise him level A. But you cannot raise him level A if raising it by him goes stuck underneath the rest of the public service structure. So I don't think that's the long-term plan you want. You want that to be like the mid-term plan. Over the next 2-3 years, you get IPAM out so that they're free, so it can attract the right core talent. And you pay them well because you expect outcomes. This determines a lot of outcomes. You talk about performance management, you talk about all the other things that we expect our public servants to know and do. IPAM's the factory of the DNA. A public servant, a public officer in the Solomon Islands should have a core DNA. And what's in that DNA? Wherever I'm going, I'm wakalo Tikopia or I'm wakalo Anuta and Wakalo Shotland, and must get him that core DNA. And Wakalo IPAM, with its governance, is to determine, well, what's that DNA? Both in terms of values and base knowledge, competencies. Current approach, yes, Lomihem inadequate. And if you persist with it, Bahem no waka, but because you put them inside law na, put them inside law bill, by him stop low there for a little bit long time before you review more. Maybe minimum 5 years or some. Meeting him, IPAM should out, should not in the bill. And then so that in flexible, you will change in quick time. Do a specific study law IPAM, governance Blohem, and what it can do, and then look at how it becomes a service provider to the government. Perhaps set it up as an SOE, a statutory organization. Then it's not private and charging, the government exorbitant fees, but it's not in the public service. So by Director IPAM, you promote him go Deputy Secretary. If you just talk hard blue good more, you put him below level below PS na and then but what Narman underneath might come underneath him too. How are you going to attract a good constitutional scholar to train a basic law program that all public servants must have as part of the DNA? It's not going to be easy. So just those considerations need to be taken into account. So you've got it here now, you may leave him go. But I think you'll need to not wait for 5 years, then review this aspect of IPAM. You need to maybe get somebody to help you think about it. Wakalo Tiwa, you come, you may discuss him. Make him, help him, you craft him Tiwa for somebody to do a study.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for those very valuable comments. We'll take on of that. Yeah, so, as been telling today, that's our long-term goal is to having IPAM for SOE maybe in the future. So the basics first na mi need for garem na building wem house him, then immediately what na courses to teach him, and then base load demand load the public service and if there need to be, imi sabe craft him na SOE na in terms of in the future. Then imi sabe out him from this whole billion. So that's a long-term plan say. So I'm no outlaw plan for let me say that already then. So time for discussion my going through the bill, yeah. Those are the things that comes at head involvement. So for now we leave it here. Once we go in for looking to stand on his feet, I will let him go now. Why will we keep him there? Because our focus is to become a school of excellence for public servants. Money outcome like IPAM, you should feel a fully fledged public servant where public service will heart blue.
Jesus, a little bit
True one, PS. Yeah, and leader was talking about this DNA, and all public service must have heart, yeah. And didn't by you stop there for 5 years, man. Because him told must achieve him. Because if public service for productivity blame him come, by him not just come nothing. Him tola must frame him good and DNA must have. That's the way what the recruitment blame tola, what the money, what no sabe what now, what ethics here and yeah, moral responsibility as a public servants. Him tola had to wait him. Whatever time, what come, or same no man. So we really need to achieve him or something. Yeah. Thank you. Can we move on to 78, clause 78?
Just one minor thing, normal law 77.
Thank you, please.
772D. Inform course designers on the relevancy. Is it just, should be an E? Should it be relevance of training programs? Relevancy is a word? Anyway, small something.
Small something. Look at transparency. M small something or M? It's the that's in there.
Inform designers on the relevancy of training programs.
Should we just be relevance? There is such a word, relevancy?
We'll note it.
Have a look. Language changes, so sometimes you may all know some language, new one comes.
I'm first reading I believe there is such a word. We will check again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much, legal draftsperson. That's noted. Let's move to 78, clause 78.
Okay, law 78, Chairman. So advisory committee, in House 1A, man. Chaired by PS or someone nominated by? PS.
Thank you, PS, yes.
Chair, in terms of this advisory committee, I'm not really in House 1. I'm somebody, the minister could appoint somebody from outside could help in terms of, I'm not the functions member, reviewing the performance law, the functions generally, particularly to following a KSMD. So it could be the minister I'm looking that there's a need for somebody for come inside or specialize in certain areas. It could, yan, we put him come to become member of this role. But was him IPAM.
Okay, but you tell the minister appointed me. Yeah. But you say, man, say you appointed him, make it. Come terrorize him now, director.
Thank you. 78 6. This will a reappointment and not be appointed for more than 2 consecutive terms. In the past, the bill Mihalulukulahem, a leader of the opposition, say, "Hey, mamania, could manitia to volunteer me, not out of his or her usefulness." So when him tell limit him, if him could man blame tell him, go for 3 terms, make him time him cause was him all on him tell just leave him, but he or she is still useful. That tintin normal law, like it's limiting what I could be problem tell for what stay out. PS.
Thank you, Chair. I think your comments, me take note of them, in terms of this one. As you said that this one actually by 6 years no more. After 6 years, I'm out. So by me fellow look this fellow term. Maybe I should say more than 6 years or kind of thing. But no good time stop they go and boring too much. Then 6 years too much to you. But
up to minister no.
Yeah. Up to minister no. So maybe we put him in the session.
Yeah.
I think the closest and wording blame, technical wording blame, no, we put him how now. That was, we'll talk with the LD for sending instruction for that one. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, PS.
Yeah, I mean, say if you or DS, it all retire, it all come in appointed law here. Given your vast experience, you should be renewable. No, up to the minister. No, oh, my name, memory blame no good now. So, okay, I leave him. Time appointment lapse, him lapse now, or him story him resign or something or something. But it's not term limited, because we want that experience to flow through to the training program. Yeah.
Thank you. We've covered close by close up to clause 78. We'll move on to part 8. But leader has an important appointment, and the fact that me just come join Noma today, meeting that attend by me good and fair for pay me start tomorrow more. So we'll stop law here, and then tomorrow morning, is it 9 kiloko by him to come and start.
No more. You would like him 6 or 7, you mean?
5 o'clock now.
So we'll start tomorrow. So thank you for that understanding. Make him by imtala still need him little yes taking this build through KSMD stage, and the fact that me just come join me didn't that in him imtal stop here, and we'll start tomorrow 9 o'clock in the morning. So we'll close with a word of prayer. Let me close our session for today with a word of prayer. We pray, God, loving Father in heaven, thank you for your mercy and your love waiting me for everyone here. We've gone through the bill, important for our nation, Heavenly Father. And thank you for you guiding me for through by the Holy Spirit. Blue, we have given knowledge for me for look inside, look at the close here. Help me for as me for dismiss this afternoon, Father, and continue for giving me for the strength for tomorrow and blessing me for as me for dismiss. We pray and ask this in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.